That is our good friend Sheldon Tarsha, or Sean Sheldon, as we like to call him here on the Classic Metal Show, with Dirty.
Love it.
And it feels so good.
Love that, man.
So, of course, Sheldon, the one who performed and wrote the Classic Metal Show theme song.
He did.
And people still love that even 12 years in.
Is it 12 years ago that happened?
I believe that was 2007.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is a long time ago. I know we've had it for a long time, but man, that's a long time.
Yeah, I think we launched that January of 2007. It was on our first show back of 2007.
Okay.
So
I'm glad you remember all this stuff. I just remember the other one that we had with the "fuck you, pal."
Yeah, well, that was something you put together for us, or actually for me.
Right.
I believe you put that together around 2004 or 2005.
Do you still have that one?
I do.
Let's hear that one. I haven't heard that in forever.
Let me pull it up here real quick.
See if you have the old one. "Fuck you, pal."
Yeah, let me see here. I think it was called, what was it called? CMS intro.
Yeah.
Intro song. CMS intro.
With all the clanging and stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. It was a "Fuck You, Pal" song. Fuck up. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have it. I just don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I got 3.5 hours, my friend. You can take your time.
CMS. Let's see here. Bumper anniversary. Ruining Metal. 6. Let me see. Love Me Bumper. Tarsha. Intro. No, that's the real one. Looking. I'm trying to scan through this real quick.
Yeah, maybe you don't have it.
I do have it. I just don't know what it's called.
Yeah. Just play them all until we find it.
Nah, I'm not going to do that.
It's got to be either FU intro or CMS intro old or something like that, doesn't it?
It might. Fuck you intro. Let's see. I'm just going to have to look at it. I'm going to have to look for it during a break.
All right.
I have it. I just don't know what it's called. I know it's in one of these folders here.
Right.
But I heard it not long ago.
Oh, wow.
Because I was just going through a bunch of old clips that I had.
Yeah.
CMS clips real quick. Let me see if I can
I haven't heard that probably since we got the Tarsha thing.
Hmm.
I don't think I've heard it one time since then. I remember it. It was just like, what I remember is it was like this clangy shit.
Yeah.
It was
it was just something that you threw together.
Yeah. So
here it is. I think this is it.
Let's hear it.
Play. Here we go.
Fuck you, pal. Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal. Fuck you, pal. Fuck you, pal. Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
The Classic Metal Show.
There you go.
It's great.
You put that together to the beats of that music.
That's really pretty good.
That wasn't bad.
That's some of my better production work there, I must say.
Yeah. You grabbed something from the Dave Chappelle show.
Right.
Which his brother, who passed away a couple years ago, Charlie Murphy.
Yeah.
You threw a couple in there. You threw a couple in there from MOL. You threw one in from the Clerks.
Right.
But it's funny that all those examples, they all said "fuck you, pal."
They sure did.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Want to hear it again?
Yeah.
I'm just listening back and identifying where each one of those "fuck you, pals" came from.
All right.
But that became the theme of the CMS.
Yeah, it did for a long time.
Just a lot of attitude. It's just like, yeah, you don't like it? Fuck you, pal.
Exactly.
And that's how Sheldon put the real CMS theme song together just by the little things that we said on the show.
Right.
So here you go.
Fuck you, pal. Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal. Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, pal.
Fuck you, pal.
The Classic Metal Show.
I think you should play that dirt in between songs. It's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Yeah, so that's some of your early work.
Yeah. Well, Sheldon's clearly knocked me out of the park with his.
Oh, yeah.
That fucking song is great. It's still great. That might be the best song he ever wrote.
Yeah. I mean, it's so identifiable when it comes to this show, anyway.
It certainly is.
Yeah, so thanks again, Sheldon. He did that. He did that just because he was a pal.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
Yes.
I still talk to Sheldon pretty often, or Sean, as he's now known.
Right.
But I talk to him fairly often. I texted with him not too long ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. You know, we're still in contact.
That's good.
He's out there doing that West Side Massacre. And,
I'm glad he's back in the music.
yeah, well, that's where he needs to be. That's his role in life.
Well, I agree with that.
You know,
Trying to change course midstream and go from, being a talented frontman to being able to write songs and produce music and things to trying to be a family man and be an accountant.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
That wasn't going to ever be him. But and he's just a good dude. He in a lot of ways, he's like Randy with talent. Because Randy and him are similar guys in their love for the music, but just Sheldon has as much talent as anybody I've ever met.
That is true.
Musically, that dude is unfucking believably talented. He just has never gotten the breaks or the right bands or whatever to push it. But this is where that guy needs to be. If anything, he should be saving his money to build himself an even better studio and just being a studio guy. If he can't make it performing music, he should be a studio guy because he has that ear and everything else where he hears things. Good dude, man. I always hope he's doing well.
Well, when I went out to Hollywood back in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure it was about 2008, when I met Sheldon the first time face to face. He invited me up. He had a 1-room studio apartment.
Right.
And he had it divided off to where he had a studio area.
Okay.
In one section of that apartment room. And, he had his mixing board and his Pro Tools, and he had all of his instruments and everything set up. And this guy was just like a one-man show.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's pretty impressive for a guy to just pick that, and especially for as young as he is.
Yeah. Well.
Or at that time, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Now he's probably 40.
Yeah.
40, right.
But he has an ear for it and a talent for it, and when he kind of dropped out of the music scene, it's just like, man, what a damn shame.
Yeah, it really was. Because even his albums are great. Prophecies and the other one were both great. I mean, really good records.
Yeah.
And just said, I'm gonna go surf for a while. I was like, dude, what are you doing? I'm gonna go to college to be an accountant. I was like, dude, what are you doing?
I'm gonna be a family man. I'm gonna raise children and have a wife.
And he got all into the key and all shit, trying to the yin and the yang of his life. And,
right.
He got all into all that stuff. I'm glad he found his way out of that. It's just back to being a musician.
You know what the answers to life is?
What?
Do what you enjoy the most.
Yeah. Do it until you can't.
Yeah.
And then fall in the hole.
I mean, when I got involved with my former brother-in-law in business,
yeah,
the question was brought up early on. Are you still going to do that show?
Yeah.
That seriously was the question. I go, why wouldn't I do that show?
I'm not assuming that's from your brother-in-law.
No, that was from my sister.
Yeah.
But the thought process was that I was just going to forsake and just give up everything that I enjoy.
Yeah.
To do something else. And it's like, why would I give that up?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that a requirement or something? Well, that's just, you're involved with something different now. So are you still going to do that show?
Yes.
Yeah, I am going to do that show.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's what I enjoy.
Yeah. Well, most people don't live their life that way. They live their life, they do their enjoying and then they generally buy a ring and stop enjoying their life.
I guess.
That's what happens. Man.
I know.
Sad.
It is. Well, we got some hardcore listeners out there.
Okay.
And we got a fairly lengthy, well, I'm not even going to call this an email so much as a tribute to us. So here we go.
It's time for the Classic Metal Show to start begging for email.
What the hell is email?
Death sent me an email.
Well, when you figure it out, email me.
And here's your loser beggars, Neeley and Chris.
You've got mail.
All right. Well, we got an email from Matt.
Okay.
Just Matt.
All right.
I don't know Matt who.
All right.
Or where he's from. I'm thinking, I don't know. It just says Matt.
Is it Matt from Minnesota?
I don't know. It doesn't distinguish who Matt is. It could be Matt from Minnesota, but I don't know.
Okay.
So, Matt, if you're listening to this segment, he's from Sydney, Australia. I forgive me.
Okay.
He is a listener from Sydney.
Okay.
All right. So, thank you, Matt, for the email. Well, he wrote us a poem.
A poem.
A poem.
All right.
So I'm going to put my best beatnik hat on, and I'm going to wear my dark glasses, and I'm going to break out my bongos.
All right.
And I'm going to read this poem. I read this through, and I can't quite get the rhythm of it. If there is a rhythm to it, I don't know if it is or not.
All right.
So I'm going to read it, and maybe you can whenever I think of poetry, I think that there's like a rhythm. Like, there once was a man from Bandu. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Well, I don't get that with this.
Okay.
But it is a lengthy poem about you and I.
Oh, well, good.
Okay. I kind of feel gay reading this because some guy wrote a poem about you and me. I've never had anyone write a poem.
Well, use your swishy voice.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do that either because I don't want to offend.
Yeah.
Don't want to be offensive, especially when people put so much stock in whatever it is that we do here.
Right.
All right. A CMS poem.
Okay.
Two men sit and talk on a Saturday night. Wendell the wise Neeley and Chris the animal Aiken. Start off with what Neely's been watching and how much the Pinball Palace been making. And soon enough come the tales, and a grin cracks across my face in a land far away. Indians, niggers, teachers, banging students, and those trans guys who won't admit they're gay. If I'm lucky, a call from Tim James, and then it's into Trump this, Trump that. Of course, some talk about Dokken, or those career-killing hoppers. I don't know what that is. No hoppers, H-O-P-E-R-S, in Rat. Is it hoppers or hopers? That's the part that threw me.
I don't know.
I'm going to take a call.
All right.
Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Yes, I noticed you guys are listening to some music on the air. You're playing some music. I was just wondering what you thought about the group Rock Sugar and about their mashups, where they compare 80s music to 80s hair bands music. So
unfamiliar on my end.
Rock Sugar?
Yeah, it's Rock Sugar. Google it on YouTube. I mean, they have an album out, which they mash. Like, for an example, there's a song called Heaven vs. Heaven, which is Warrant's Heaven versus Bryan Adams' Heaven.
Okay.
So...
All right. I'm not familiar, but I will write it down here, and after this segment, maybe we'll look into it.
Awesome. Hey, and also, I hope Chris's back gets better.
Thank you.
You guys take care.
All right, man.
You got well-wishers, Chris.
Hail and save.
There you go. All right. Well, getting back to the poem.
Okay.
All right. Indians, niggers, teachers banging out students, and those trans guys who won't admit they're gay. If I'm lucky, a call in from Tim James, and then it's on to Trump this, Trump that. Of course, some talk about Dokken or those career-killing no-hoppers and Rat. Heck, maybe I'll even get an interview this week with someone cool like the Wiry Dogs, Richie Kotzen. The Wiry Dogs.
Wiry Dogs.
Yep, that's Jaffer. The Wiry Dogs.
Sure.
But more likely it will be the zero writing credits. Why can't this fool die already, Bobby Blotzer? This is what keeps me going, and I take the podcast daily at my corporate job like a reality fix. With Chris and Neeley in my ear, all these other fuckies can go eat a bag of dicks. We're in boardroom talk. It's all good morning, sir. And is there anything else we can do for you, ma'am? And me? I look hard at work, but I'm listening to Chris Aiken talk about fucking a ham. A colleague is begging me to give me her Me Too story, waiting to point the finger at a guy. Being a victim isn't fashion. And the latest trend is defiantly staring into the Jap's eye. Really? Okay.
Jap's eye.
That's what it says. Being a victim is in fashion, and the latest trend is defiantly staring into the Jap's eye.
Okay.
But she's a social justice woman, and she wouldn't have seen... Let's see. But she's a social justice woman, and she wouldn't have seen two cocks. I'd love to toss her to Chris, who'd fuck out her throat and tongue and punch her fart box. Is that what you would do, Chris? You would punch her fart box?
That's what I think. I was thinking about punching her fart box as you read about her.
So I got to read that line again. This is what you'll do to this Jap right. Social warrior woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to toss her to Chris, who'd fuck out her throat and tongue and punch her fart box.
Mm-hmm.
But Neeley, the wise, who'd seen the faintest wrinkle, stare down and say, I want to see an ID. I'm clearly overage, she'd argue, and Neeley would respond, yeah, bitch, you look like 33. So here's to Neeley and Chris, Doghouse, Aussie, John, Jackal, Tim, and Bob. From Sydney, Australia, hail and kill, fuck you, pal, and hand job.
All right. Well, thanks. What do you say to that?
I don't know. That's trying to sum up what we do here on the show in a poem.
Well, okay. Thanks.
So apparently while you're fucking hams, I'm checking IDs to see chicks that are not over 30.
Yeah.
You're over 30. Get lost.
Well, that part is true. There's no lying in that. Look at you playing the bongos and reading your...
Exactly. That's me. I'm like a beatnik. I got a turtleneck sweater on. I'm playing the bongos.
Reading your poem.
Reading my poem in a coffee house.
That's funny.
That is funny.
All right, well, thanks. Who was that sent that?
That's Matt from Sydney, Australia.
thanks, Matt. I look very forward to your next your next poll.
Your next prose.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Here's the question. I know I've asked this on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about this show that translates to the Australians? Because we seem to have a lot of Australian fans.
They love us.
They do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They relate to what we say, or I don't know. Maybe I have never been to Australia. If I leave this country, that's about the only place I want to go visit.
Australia?
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't know why we relate better to them. You know, maybe they're a little more hardened as people, so they're more sick of the political correctness than we are. That's the only thing I can think of.
I don't know the answer, but again, I would like to go visit Australia. I've looked at it on the internet. I've never been there, but interested in going there someday, maybe.
That's one long fucking plane flight.
I'm sure it is.
That is not a fun plane flight, that's for sure.
So we got poetry from Australia.
Well, thank you.